Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. I'm going to try to bring you these stories. I don't know what is going on. I just have a lot of technical issues. A lot of stuff is updating, glitching. So I'm going to do this video. It's going to have multiple stories in it. So I'll just title it News, so I don't have to keep restarting and doing a new shorter video. So this video may be a little longer, but forgive me, got to try to get this information out. So this first story came out on March the 14th, and it is about the government creating a direct to smartphone regulatory framework for satellite services. So you got to read this and think about its purpose. Think about going into the new global order and how things are going to be. Think about the Internet of Things and Web 3.0. And then the framework that they're doing now, where they're basically transitioning us to be going through all this digitalization. So it says the U.S. regulators have approved ground rules for allowing SpaceX, that is Elon Musk, and other satellite operators to use radio waves from terrestrial mobile partners to keep smartphone users connected outside cell towers coverage. So when cell towers go down, you will be getting your cell service from satellites. So I'm putting on my tinfoil hat, work with me. In the event that cell towers go down physically, or for some other reason, like they literally are taken down, taken out, or if there's a grid down situation where a lot of things the communication systems are out, they're going to have service in space. So you will always be able to be tracked. I mean, make phone calls and stay connected. You know what I'm saying? You see, well, follow me. Okay, I'm taking my hat off. The Federal Communications Commission voted on March 14th unanimously in favor of its supplemental coverage from Space Regulatory Framework. SCS providers would operate a secondary service to companies providing mobile satellite service with conventional frequencies already approved for use from space. This means an SCS operator would have to immediately cease operations if they interfere with an MSS provider or terrestrial telecommunication. That's what this terrestrial teleco with primary rights. So I'm assuming that this is saying, and if somebody can comment in the comment section, that would be helpful, that if the satellite providers are given primary rights, that means people on the ground can't offer the service anymore. They would be secondary. So I think that that's what this means. So once it's done, we won't have local mobile service. We'll have satellite. And that means that you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about human beings able to go in and sabotage anything. You don't have to worry about human beings being in control of anything. They will still be in control, but the controls will be out of space where nobody can reach them. And so you'd have to have the technology, something where you can send it out to space to damage it. And that's the goal. You want to have things where it's going to be controlled by one source. It would be satellite. The final version of the framework has yet to be released to the public, although it will be based on the draft the FCC published last month. I don't know what that draft is, but there is a link to it in the description. Not in the description, but in this article. So it says the framework would go into effect after it is published in the Federal Register and legally required Office of Budget Management and Review. Require Office of Management and Budget, OMB, review. which could take several weeks. So this is going to go into effect this year. FCC also voted to adopt a notice of proposed rulemaking to consider a number of additional issues, including protections for radio astronomy and requirement, I don't even know what that is, and requiring 911 calls and text to be routed to a public safety answering point using location-based routing or an emergency call center. Remember, the emergency call centers was going down during the phone outages. They didn't work. So it says we are the first country to adopt a framework that combines satellite and wireless service through supplemental coverage from space. You know why they want you to get it from space? Because they're going to track you all the time. And I've told y'all these things are going to be the police. Your cell phone is going to be the police. You're going to have to learn how to live without a cell phone. We did it before. You're going to have to learn how to do it again. If you're not planning to participate in the beast infrastructure, the day is coming where you're going to have to cease using these things. And a lot of people are not going to be able to do it because they're addicted to it. They haven't planned for what life will be like. They're just going to walk right into this new system. But this is what the Internet of Things is going to be like in the Web 3.0. This is what it's all about. Constant interoperability, connectivity all the time. So, enabling these networks to accomplish more than they could do on their own. Together, they can end dead zones. So they don't want it to be a place where you can hide. They want the satellites in the sky to have you connected at all times so you won't be able to hide. When you're riding through the countryside and you lose a signal, well, once they get these satellites up and going, you're not going to be lost. They're always going to know how many miles you drove, what store you went to, if you went on vacation, if you drove too many miles, if you're on an airplane and you using your phone, they'll be able to pick up the signal. So it's a tracking device, basically. So it means that when disaster strikes, oh boy, and destroys ground-based systems, we're going to have a backup in space. Other countries are watching the United States closely to inform their own rules for allowing satellites to use spectrum from terrestrial partners to plug connectivity gaps nationwide. So y'all know that basically means we're going to have a disaster. Everybody's going to stand by and watch and see how things go down, but then we were proactive. All of a sudden, we did these things, and stuff is going to just be popping back up. It's some bull swanky. This is doo-doo covered in icing. This is what it is. Low Earth Orbit, LEO, constellation developer Link Global said the FCC's approval will support the growth of what it estimates to be an addressable market worth more than $325 billion. So everything got a dollar value assigned to it. This is good news. This is a good news story that highlights America's continued role in developing and delivering technology that will track you forever and ever and ever, and they put you in digital prison. That's what I said. This man didn't say that. So it says that makes a difference in the lives of people around the world. People around the world are going to wish they had not had these devices. Omnispace, which is looking to provide connectivity directly to devices using S-band spectrum already approved for MSS, said it is encouraged to see SCS classes as a secondary service to companies with a primary allocation like Omnispace. However, Omnispace Chief Regulatory and International Strategy Officer Mendel de la Torre remains concerned about potential interference from SpaceX, which plans to use T-Mobile spectrum for direct-to-smartphone services in the U.S. Still early days. Apple's latest iPhones have been using conventional MSS spectrum from Globalstar satellites to connect users outside cellular coverage in the US and other countries since late 2022, limited to SOS services. Other companies are developing constellations that will deliver higher bandwidth capabilities, such as a standard text messaging and ultimately voice and data services. SpaceX aims to enable text services to to phones already in circulation in the United States this year with T-Mobile. SpaceX already this year with voice and data services slated to come in, guess when? 2025, Project 2025. So y'all think these people ain't accelerating their agenda? You're wrong. Expect chaos soon. A lot of it. The company said February 26th, it made its first post on X while testing Starlink's broadband satellites in LEO with a direct to smartphone capability. So they have a link to it in the description. The company says Link Global has been enabling intermittent texting from 3 satellites via partnerships with local telecommunications companies in Solomon Islands, Cook Islands, and Palau. The company recently deployed 2 more satellites to improve coverage and capabilities, but remains far short of plans to deploy 5,000 of them in orbit for full global services. So it says AST Space Mobile said in January it had raised $155 million from Google, AT&T, and Vodafone ahead of plans to deploy its first commercial LEO satellites earlier this year for a direct-to-smartphone service. So they are setting up for these mobile devices to be used on the Internet of Things. You're always going to be connected. So just like I was telling y'all, this is coming. You already know. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next story. But anyway, I wanted y'all to know that. That was really important. The next story is about the eclipse. No, I don't want no notifications. Okay, so this story came out on March the 14th, and it says Ohio governor signs executive order ahead of total eclipse, which basically means that the entire state is now under the order. And so, I was telling y'all about we need to be careful about these states doing these executive orders. This is what I was talking about. So it says a total solar eclipse will bring a once in a lifetime event to Ohio next month. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine signed an executive order to ensure the state is prepared for the celestial event. The safety and well-being of Ohioans is always at the forefront of everything we do. We have been preparing for the April 8th solar eclipse for several years. Why? Several years. We didn't even know. Several years. To ensure this once-in-a-lifetime event can be safe and memorable for all. I don't even understand, what's the big deal? It's an eclipse. You didn't do this for any other eclipse. What is so significant about this one? This is how you know it's some doo-doo with some icing on it. The executive order's purpose is to direct all state departments to be prepared for residents and visitors during and after the eclipse by increasing staff and coming up with plans ahead of time. What they expect to happen? I don't even really understand. What are they looking for? Something ain't right. The Ohio Emergency Management Agency is urging those traveling into town to be prepared, stopping ahead to fill up with fuel. Why they want us to keep buying gas? What's going on? This is why gas going up. What's happening? Why we need gas? Why people need gas? Where they going? If your activities are normal, you're going to work, you're going to school. What's the difference? Bringing snacks and chargers in case of emergencies. The Ohio Department of Transportation said it will be treating the solar eclipse like a major travel holiday by restricting road work and reducing the size of active work zones. Every state got the same, every time we read these, they got the same language. This is how you know this is some orchestrated doo-doo. Ohio State Highway Patrol will be adding visibility ahead of the event to help drivers leading up to the eclipse. So that's another story I just want to share with y'all. Something ain't right. Something is going to happen. This story is from CNN. Get off of here. Thank you. Cyber attacks are hitting water systems throughout the U.S. Paw officials warn governors. So why I'm telling y'all to make sure you have water in your house. Make sure you have water stored so you can flush your toilets. You should be putting water in barrels or something so that if you need to flush, you don't have to be dealing with waste. You can scoop some water out, put it in a bucket, use your bathroom, flush the toilet, and keep it pushing. Uh, so, okay, here we go. Oh, look. They just acting a fool. I don't want to look at this. I don't want this. I'm not buying a bike. I hate seeing it. It's always so difficult to get to this channel, get your stuff because they always just I don't know, the site is just like a big old virus. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. I'm just having so many issues with my computer that I never had before. So, all right. So it says cyber attacks are hitting water systems throughout the U.S. Papa warns governors. Okay, you can't even move it. It's just like I don't understand. It's just uncooperative. I don't typically like using CNN for anything, but okay, so it says cyber attacks are hitting water and waste water systems throughout the United States, and state governments and water facilities must improve their defenses against the threat. The White House and Environmental Protection Agency warned U.S. governors on Tuesday. We need your support to ensure that all water systems in your state comprehensively assess their current cybersecurity practices, said the governors from EPA Administrator Michael Regan, and that's the brother Raccoon, and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. In many cases, Reagan and Sullivan said even basic security precautions are not in place at water facilities and can mean the difference between business as usual and a disruptive cyber attack. So, the EPA will also set up a task force, oh great, to identify the most significant vulnerabilities of water systems to cyber attacks. Among other pressing issues, the Biden officials invited state homeland security and environmental officials to a meeting to discuss cybersecurity improvements needed in the water sector. The U.S. water sector, which spans 150,000 public water systems, has often struggled to find the cash and personnel to deal with hacking threats. Um, so it says in November, hackers breached industrial equipment at multiple U.S. water facilities to display an anti-small hat message on the equipment, according to U.S. officials, and I talked about that. The Biden administration blamed the Iranian government for the hacks. And then it says Dragon Country hackers have also infiltrated water facilities, according to the U.S. officials. It is a hacking campaign that the Biden administration worries Beijing could use to disrupt critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict with the U.S. China denies the allegations. Neither the alleged Iranian nor Chinese hacks have had any impact on drinking water, but they have alarmed senior U.S. officials and lawmakers and draw fresh attention on the security challenges in the water sector. Anyway, we didn't already talk about the water. I'm just letting you know they put out a notice this week to the governors about the water. So you need to be getting you some water. You need to have water purification tablets. You need to have water straws. You need to have filters. You need to have medications to take care of you in the event that you are sick so that you don't get cholera, excuse me, and other issues. You should have hygiene products. You should have things that you can cook that don't require a whole lot of water, meals ready to eat, stuff right out of the can. That you don't have to use water to wash food. Preserve your precious water. And you should also be looking at other ways to get water out of the ground. I'll leave it at that. All right. Last story that I have for you, if the computer acts right. And it is about, I think, the eclipse. I'm not sure. I've read so much stuff, I can't even remember. But, okay. Hello. This may be the last story if I can't get this other page to come up, but I don't know what is wrong with the computer. It's not been doing this, and it's just been acting real crazy as of late. So I anticipate the powers that be tired of me. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I can do the other story in another video. So not to make this long and belabor the point. A lot of stuff is going on. You got to pay attention. Keep watch, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Pray and fast as we come upon Passover. As we come upon Passover and these very spiritual times for Israelites, we need to remember. Oh, look at it, just decided to come up. All right. I'm gonna do this story since since the page came up. So it says the map shows warnings for people to stock up on food ahead of the eclipse. This came out on March the 18th. So let me see if I can get this to move. All right, we in business. So the spectacle is expected to draw. Oh no, I think I skipped something. These stories have so many ads. Just makes it a pain in the butt to use these sites, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. It says many states within the solar eclipse's path of totality have issued warnings in weeks leading up to the astronomical phenomenon. April 8th, the moon will be positioned so that the entire disk of the sun will be blocked out in several states, plunging millions of people into darkness during the early afternoon. The path of totality will start in Mexico and extend across Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and Maine before heading out over the Atlantic Ocean. So a lot of states are telling people to prep now all of a sudden. It says the spectacle is expected to draw crowds from the nation as people head to areas in the path of totality to witness the eclipse. Officials across the nation have voiced concern about stretched public safety resources and enormous strain on hospitals and congested roadways. Like, what is going to happen? What is going to happen watching the eclipse all the time? I'm 52. I've never seen or heard anything like this ever before. So either something is going to happen that we don't know about, is planned, and they need these warnings and emergencies to go out so that they can say they warned us, and so that they can issue these declarations and have these resources staged for whatever it is that they want to do. At least 4 states within the path of totality have urged residents to stock up on groceries before the eclipse. Some officials have already issued disaster declarations ahead of the event, and some schools have decided to close, citing student safety. What is going to happen to students in school? Y'all got to see something ain't right. Something ain't right. something is not right. Anyway, I'll put a link to all these stories in the description so that you can read them for yourselves, go through them thoroughly, and see the nonsense that is going on. It's just crazy. Anyway, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Repent for your sins of commission and sins of omission. I recommend we fast and pray leading up to Passover as much as we possibly can, because there are a lot of things coming, and I feel as though I've talked about them accelerating their plans this year, but I can see something is brewing, something big. And if you live in a city, you need to really try to get out of the city prior to April the 8th, even if it's just you take some time off from work and go live with relatives that are not in the city. You just not gonna want to be in the cities when this stuff happens, and I just don't know what's gonna happen leading up to, and another thing is that because the polls are shifting and they don't know if something's going to happen on that day, maybe before, maybe after. I don't know, but I just know I have not had a good feeling for a couple of weeks, and just really anxious, can't sleep, restless. So something is going on in the atmosphere. It's not that I have anything on my mind, but just like my body can't rest. My eyes are tired. So just make sure that you are prepared for not having water, for not having power, for not having lights. All the creature come from a cold place. You may not have heat. If you live in a warm place, you may not have air. You may have to deal with bugs and critters and all kinds of stuff. Animals, because animals might be acting crazy. We don't know what's going to happen because these are just some crazy times. But try to think and be proactive so that you can navigate whatever comes, and pray. Keep praying, keep prepping, keep seeking the Most High. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, Instagram, and on Facebook. In the event that this channel goes down, I will post on Rumble, and you won't have to worry about finding me. But if you do need to find me, I'm Marley K on most of those platforms. If you like to support the channel, links for my Venmo and my coffee are in the description. We are not sponsored, and we're not monetized, so we don't receive anything from YouTube. This is a labor of love project, sounding the trumpet. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep the Sabbath. Come out of this system. Come out of this world. Stop thinking like these people. Wake up, because something is coming. Something is brewing, and it's going to happen in some places, but it's going to impact all of us, and we just got to be ready. All right, y'all, this is Marley K. I'm not going to belabor this video. I just wanted to share all these stories in one video because it's just, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my stuff together. So anyway, share this content with people. Let people know what's coming. Let people know that something ain't right, and hopefully they'll wake up. All right, this is Marley K, and I'm out.